So she comes running to me that evening, and I could see the light in her eyes. I was really inspired. And she went like this: Khushi, I need to tell you something. And when, go ahead. So there were two cars. One was Hot Wheels, and one didn't have a name. It was old and cute, so I named it Bean. Like, okay. Um, so I was playing with these cars, and the other day I had an 80 pages long submission to submit to ma'am. Also because there was inspection. That's why I had to do it. But I was fascinated by them. I kept staring at them. And you know what I realized? They are so different. You can't compare them. Bean goes round and just moves away, and Hot Wheels, it goes frictionless in the air of the ground and just strucks into something. These two are so good, and you know what was to happen. The other day was a scandal because I hadn't submitted it, and yes, and you remember that it was a inspection, right? This was Shruti's story. Yes. No, it was not about priority. Do things that you have to do first and then the things that you want to. Well, let me know. What was more important? The inspection or Hot Wheels and Beans? So this was Shruti's story, and today I'm going to speak about reimagining education. My name is Khushi and I'm 15 years old and in grade 10th. Now, I won't do it. I won't make teachers irresistible, rude creatures and parents the victim of ruthlessness. I won't rebel because teenagers do, right? You believe. But I'm here to tell you a story. Okay, so once there was me, and till grade 5, I had studied in a government school. Happily, where kids came from a different background, a very lone community, slums. And I enjoyed the midday meal. Things were really cool until my parents decided to shift me to a very good high-income private school. And because also they could afford it, and things became different. Now wait, I was a ball of fire. And trust me, what I mean by that is what they mean by cheesy. So yes, as soon as I entered the school, the class, the well-cleaned benches, the desks, the board, the classroom, the grounds, and the perfect gates, I had me jumping. And then I faced the children. And the first expression that I faced was, zombie. Also because my excitement was on my face and I was really crude and I was me. But because everyone was the same, everyone was a group, everyone was the coolest, everyone was studying and everyone wanted to fit in. I know, weird, right? In school, we almost most of us forget our individualities, and I blame no one because we all face this race and children have to face this race. So, well, that continued and I survived. I remember weeping in the corners of my room, just thinking about why am I a zombie? And why not me? Where do I find myself? So I finally decided to choose myself. So from failing to having good marks, I started being known in the school. And not by some other Khushi, but the Khushi you see right now. Known for my passion, my ability, my talent, and not for the zombie. And 2 years later, I became the head girl of the school. Applauses, yes, I had the badge and I saw 1,500 leaders in front of me. Yes, but all of them saw one leader, and that was the head girl. It was me. I questioned that time, why not 1500 leaders? Why don't you see the potential in everyone? And I stood there to create that potential in everyone, create that belief. And I was just there for that. I didn't want to be just one leader. That went on. Those years were of a lot of questions. And I realized that, okay, so I am supposed to be responsible for the discipline of the school. And that's it. I was, as a head girl, jumping here and there, doing different activities, going here and there. Okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. But when do I get time to step out and tell you, ma'am, that, you know, what I believe in is something else. I want to show people something else. I don't think this is valuable. This might not be necessary. Let's do something else. And I couldn't voice out had I had the opportunity. And you know, these kids have everything, the perfect school, the perfect annual gathering to chill out, and parents actually carrying the bag, dropping them to school and bringing them back. And tuition. मतलब अगर स्कूल में पैसे बर्बाद हो रहे हो तो ट्यूशन चले जाओ. Because I'm not joking. We kids have a voice, and the one which wants to let out opinions and be creators of art. I reimagine a school where kids have this safe space of letting themselves out in front of the management, where principals and supervisors are not subject to dahshat, where school prepares curriculum not for the kids, but with the kids. And we aren't prepared for survival. So that went on. And one last story. After all of this new school and head girl, and I finally reached 10th. And I was sitting in my classroom the other day with my schoolmate and my classmate. And the conversation went something like this. अरे यार, school आना पड़ता है. Like, तुम आता ना क्यों आ रहा है? बहन, 10 marks हैं attendance के. गवाने हैं क्या 10th में? Like, okay, what do you do the whole day? So I come back from school by like 2:15 by the bus. And till 3, like I play PUBG or something like that. Then 3 to 5, I have tuition, maths tuition. Then 5 to 6, I like play basketball. And 6 to 8, I have science tuition. Then off to sleep and eat. Like, what? But you were planning basketball. You were so talented at it. Why not basketball? Like, play. Like, 10th है, पढ़ाई करनी है, and I don't think like I won't be able to make anything out of it, and no money in that. I'm like, money? What? Yes, that happens. That happens in almost every school with every kid. We all are broken to a race. And all I ask you to do is, you know, all kids have this potential. All kids, each kid has that potential. And all I ask you to do is believe. Make kids your partners to reimagine, to decide what they want to learn. Give them responsibilities and hear out their voices. And if you'll do that, maybe you'll see a future. Thank you.